Imagine this. The year is 1801. Europe is ablaze with war. One man, Napoleon Bonaparte, is on the march to conquer the continent, and only Great Britain stands in his way. But Napoleon has a plan. He's trying to choke Britain's trade, its very lifeblood, by uniting the neutral naval powers of the North Denmark, Sweden, Prussia, and Russia into an alliance called the League of Armed Neutrality. This league threatens to close the Baltic Sea to British ships, cutting off vital supplies of timber, tar, and hemp, the essential materials needed to build and maintain the Royal Navy's powerful wooden walls. The British government sees this as an existential threat. They cannot allow it. So, a powerful fleet is dispatched to the Baltic with a clear, uncompromising message: break the league, by diplomacy or by force. Commanding this fleet is Admiral Sir Hyde Parker, a cautious Beatha-book veteran. But his second-in-command is a man of a very different temperament, a man whose name is already a legend and a terror to Britain's enemies. Vice Admiral Horatio Nelson, small in stature, scarred by battle, missing an arm and the sight in one eye. Nelson is the embodiment of aggressive, audacious naval warfare. He's impatient, brilliant, and utterly fearless. As the British fleet arrives off the coast of Denmark in late March, diplomacy quickly fails. The Danes are proud, and they've prepared their capital, Copenhagen, for a fight. Copenhagen's defenses look formidable. A long line of Danish-Norwegian warships, hulks, and floating batteries are anchored in a shallow channel, their guns forming a deadly, interlocking field of fire. It's a static, defensive line, but a powerful one, protected by shoals and treacherous currents. Admiral Parker, surveying the scene, is hesitant. He sees the risks, the potential for catastrophic losses. He considers a less direct approach, perhaps a blockade, but Nelson sees an opportunity. He sees a way to smash the Danish line and win a decisive victory. He volunteers to lead the attack with a squadron of shallower draft ships, the ones that can navigate the dangerous channel. Reluctantly, Parker agrees. The stage is set for one of the most brutal and dramatic naval battles of the age. On the morning of April 2nd, 1801, Nelson's squadron weighs anchor. The wind is favorable, and his ships sail south to engage the Danish line. The plan is for each British ship to anchor opposite a Danish vessel and pound it into submission. But from the very beginning, things go wrong. The channel is even trickier than the chart suggested. 3 of Nelson's ships of the line run aground before they can even fire a shot, becoming helpless spectators. This severely weakens his attacking force. The remaining ships press on, anchoring as best they can and opening a furious cannonade. The battle that erupts is fought at terrifyingly close range. The air fills with thick, choking smoke, the splintering crash of timber, and the screams of men. The sound is a deafening, continuous roar of over 2,000 cannons. Unlike battles on the open sea, there is no room for maneuver. The ships are anchored, locked in a stationary slugging match. It's a test of pure endurance and firepower. The Danes, fighting to defend their homes, their families watching from the shore, fight with incredible courage and tenacity. When a ship's crew is decimated, fresh volunteers row out from the city to take their place. Their fire is relentless and effective. On his flagship, HMS Elephant, Nelson paces the deck amidst the chaos, seemingly oblivious to the cannonballs tearing through the rigging. He knows his ships are taking a terrible beating. The Danish resistance is far stronger than anticipated. Miles away, on his own flagship outside the main channel, Admiral Parker can only see the smoke and hear the thunderous roar. He sees the British distress signals. He sees Nelson's ships running aground. To him, the battle looks like a disaster in the making. Fearing the loss of the entire squadron, he makes a decision. He hoists Signal No. 39. Discontinue the engagement. A signal officer on the Elephant reports the Commander-in-Chief's order to Nelson. The battle is raging. The outcome hangs in the balance. A retreat now would be a humiliating defeat. Nelson, knowing the stakes, turns to his flag captain, Thomas Foley. And here, he performs the act that would become legendary. Placing a telescope to his blind eye, he declares, "You know, Foley, I have only one eye. I have a right to be blind sometimes." Then, with a wry smile, he adds. I really do not see the signal. Nelson is choosing to disobey a direct order from his superior. It's an act of breathtaking insubordination, a gamble that could end his career, or even his life, if it fails. But he believes, with every fiber of his being, that he can still win. He orders his own signal. Engage the enemy more closely, to be kept flying. His captains, seeing Nelson's defiant signals still aloft, ignore Parker's order to retreat and redouble their efforts. The brutal fight continues. For another hour, the cannons roar. The British ships, with their greater experience and faster rate of fire, begin to gain the upper hand. The Danish ships, one by one, are silenced. They become floating wrecks, their guns dismounted, their decks a scene of unimaginable carnage. The Danish flagship, the Dannebrog, catches fire and explodes in a massive, terrifying fireball. The water is filled with debris and struggling sailors. Seeing the destruction of the Danish line, Nelson recognizes that continuing the slaughter would be a pointless cruelty. He needs a way to end the fighting and secure his victory. He drops a note, addressed to the brothers of Englishmen, the Danes, and sends it to the Danish crown prince under a flag of truce. The note is a brilliant piece of psychological warfare. He states that he has the right to burn the captured Danish ships, but he will spare the brave Danes who fought on them if the firing stops. He's offering them a way out, an honorable end to the fight. The crown prince, seeing his defenses shattered and fearing for the city itself, agrees to a ceasefire. The Battle of Copenhagen is over. The aftermath is grim. The channel is littered with smoking hulks and floating bodies. The British have suffered over 1,200 casualties. The Danish-Norwegian losses are even higher. It was, as Nelson himself admitted, the most terrible battle of his career. But it was a decisive strategic victory. The news of the British triumph at Copenhagen, combined with the assassination of the pro-French Tsar Paul of Russia just days earlier, caused the League of Armed Neutrality to collapse completely. Britain's access to the Baltic was secured, and the Royal Navy could once again focus its full attention on Napoleon. Nelson's defiance of orders, his famous blind eye moment, cemented his status as a national hero. It became a symbol of brilliant, audacious leadership, of knowing when to break the rules to achieve victory. Admiral Parker was recalled in disgrace, while Nelson was hailed as the savior of Britain. The Battle of Copenhagen is a stark reminder of the brutal realities of naval warfare in the Age of Sail, but also a powerful story of courage, leadership under fire, and the strategic genius of one of history's greatest naval commanders. It was a victory forged in fire and blood, and in an act of glorious disobedience. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into naval history, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more stories of great battles and legendary leaders. We'll see you next time.